Hi everyone. Welcome to my stream yet again. And of course, the first thing I want to ask you is, can you hear me? I know it probably gets old, but I don't want to be talking for a year and a day and then, finally somebody comes and like, we really can't hear you or, you're just talking into the void or whatever. So just let me know in the comments if you can hear me and then we can go ahead and really get started. Is anybody there? Oh, good. Okay, everybody says that they can hear me. Very good. I'm glad that you guys have joined me. We do have a new member shout out. DJ Group Math is now a member of the Original Girls. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, Stephanie Pollard says, here's hoping no Discord drama today. Yeah, no kidding. That would be really, really bad. We had enough last time. We're good today. Hope everybody else is doing well. And as usual, I got a list. I got a lot of stuff to talk about. So, first things first, I want to give another special shout out to David Balfour. Last time he gave me just an incredibly generous donation. I am completely humbled by that. And he said, this money is going towards Fire Emblem. Because I was talking about the Fire Emblem 30th anniversary edition and talking about how cool it was and how much cool stuff there is in there. And never in my wildest dreams did I expect anybody to be like, here, go buy it. And just want you to know that I did indeed purchase it. Thank you so much. I will be sure to open that up on camera and, thank you again because it really was just so nice of you. I was just completely humbled by that. The next thing that I want to talk about, I mentioned this a couple of streams ago that like a water company contacted me about, I guess it would be called sponsorship. And I was like, kind of apprehensive about it or whatever. But I do want to let you guys know that I have been accepted and they'll be sending me some stuff in the mail soon enough. So that's pretty exciting. I've never done anything like that. It's very exciting for me. Exciting things are happening. Exciting times are coming. So yeah. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is pretty much just the elephant in the room. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Timber Maniac says, stay hydrated. I agree, stay hydrated. I have my own water bottle that I've had for 10 years that I use all the time. And I have, a lot of people have asked me actually about this straw. I never really thought anything of it, but this straw is a steel straw. It has like a little silicone thing on it that you suck out of, and you can just wash them in the dishwasher, and it's a reusable straw. And it's always nice to be helpful to the environment. It's easy enough to do, and I have sensitive teeth, so I have to use a straw. So yeah. Okay, so I was talking about the elephant in the room. Yesterday I made a video about putting the Let's Plays on a pause. Oh, we have a donation from Ban1442. Thank you so much, Ban. It's a super busy time at work for me, so I haven't been able to make any of the streams, and I can't stay tonight either, but I thought that I would hop in and say hi. Oh, well, thank you, Ban. Hi. It's always good for you to be here. Good to see you and everything, and I'm glad, and thank you so much for your donation. So, getting back to the Let's Plays that I was talking about, I just want to talk about that for a minute, really. Just talk about it live, going, a little bit back and forth on you, just talking about it and try to explain myself just a little tiny bit better. Like I've said before, this channel is a hobby. It's not supposed to be stressful. And the Let's Plays were making it pretty stressful, I've got to say. Last night, after I made the video, I was freaking out, and I think I was talking about in the video about how like I was afraid of what the comments would say. So I didn't even look at the comments for like the first 10 minutes. And then, curiosity killed the cat, and I whipped up my phone and I'm looking at the comments and everything. And to my surprise, 99.9% of the comments were very, very positive, very, very, very supportive. Oh, it's Gay Statue's birthday. Happy birthday, Gay Statue. Hey. All the comments were very supportive, and I'm so happy for that. And after reading those comments, like, it felt like a ton of bricks came off of my shoulders. And for the first time in a long time, I just kind of chilled last night. Like, I didn't bring my laptop into bed to work on a script. I didn't sit here at my desk thinking about what lists I have to write. I didn't go on to starman.net and look up their bestiary and write down, what enemies I'd be facing in the next area. I didn't do any of that. I didn't do any of that, and it felt amazing. It felt so good to just relax, And again, I do this as a hobby. I've said I do this as a hobby, and sometimes it's just nice to relax. And I also did something else that I haven't done in quite some time. I turned on Yakuza Like a Dragon, and I sat there and I played mini games in Yakuza Like a Dragon. And for so long, as I'm playing through these games, I play through them like I steamroll through them. I'm like, side quest, nope, don't have time. Minigame, nope, don't have time. I gotta go right here, the 100, I have to go, straight forward. This is the goal, this is the goal, this is the goal, this is the goal. And I was able to not do that. I was able to really just take my time and enjoy it because I didn't have, this added pressure of, you really shouldn't be enjoying yourself right now. You should be researching and you should be working, if you know what I mean. So that's where I'm coming from. It is difficult to put yourself first, but I feel like I have to. In this particular case, I have to. On a couple live streams ago, I talked about my love for Martha Stewart, and I know it's stupid, but I have a thing about like cleaning and organizing and just making everything just so. It's one of my favorite things to do, is just to make everything just so. And I have probably the most organized linen closet you've ever seen in your entire life. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, so the last month or two, Ken has been like, David, what's going on? The kitchen isn't clean. And I'm like, I know, I'm sorry, I'm busy. And he, of course, cleans it up. But he's just like so not used to it. We've been together for 17 years, and I'm always just the one who cleans the kitchen. And he's not saying that he's not going to do it or anything. It was just different. You know what I mean? When if you've been with somebody for so long and then things start to change, and like that was kind of one of my wake-up moments for it. I was like, oh, I'm kind of disappointing Ken, or I'm letting certain things interfere with stuff that's more important, and to me, housework is important. I know, I'm weird. It is what it is. So that's just what I wanted to talk about. And you know what? It is hot as hell in this room. I'm going to go turn on the fan real fast. Hold on a second. Huh. Right before this stream started, I was like, well, the fan might interfere with the microphone. And normally, whenever I do a Let's Play or something, I always turn the fan off too, because I don't want it to interfere. Or if I record dialogue or something, I don't want the fan to interfere. But I have a TV set on, I have my computer on, I have my laptop on, and I have this ring light shining in my face, blinding me, and I'm hot as hell. So, so I just have to turn the fan on. I'm very, very sorry. So I just wanted to give you guys kind of like a little open forum to give me any comments about the Let's Play situation. I did have to ban someone about it, so yeah. And this is something else that I want to talk about banning in general. It's not a decision that I take lightly to ban someone on Discord or to ban someone on my channel. But unfortunately, in order to create a healthy community, it's something that you gotta do. It just is what it is. It is just something that you have to do. And, okay, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you that I make some controversial videos. I make videos about worst dungeons, best characters, worst characters, boring RPGs. There's going to be a series of worst RPGs ever made coming up. Like, I make, not everything is, let's go tiptoe to the tulips and talk about top 10 best PlayStation RPGs. No, because that's boring as hell. Like, it's nice to have a little bit of healthy discussion. And healthy discussion is fine. Somebody saying, I don't agree with you is perfectly fine. I don't care. It's perfectly fine if somebody doesn't agree with me. It's not really an issue to me. But what is an issue to me is whenever somebody's just plain rude about it, There is a difference between... There's a fine line. There's a fine line between... How do I want to say this? There's a fine line between being kind and being rude or just being, offensive. And that's no good at all. Zalgratis donates. Thank you so much, Zalgratis. Weather has been nice in New York. When the sun's out, the guns are out. Yes, they certainly are. Sun's out, guns out. The weather hasn't been all that hot here in Nevada. We have had massive, massive windstorms lately. It has been really, really bad. I went out to the pool the other day and there was sand in the bottom of the pool, just piles and piles of sand in the bottom of the pool. And it was kind of ridiculous. It's been really windy, really overcast. It's been kind of rainy too. And that's not something that you see very often here in Nevada. It rains for less than 5 minutes, but it rains nonetheless. So yeah, let's see what else I wanted to talk about. Oh, you know what else? This is actually kind of cool. So I made the channel memberships, and there's these little badges, and I have a whole story about these little badges. So I made a post to my members, and I was saying, I think that it'd really be cool if I did 4 different tiers of the memberships, and I had and each one would just be different badges. One would be all RPG girls or, original girls. Of course it's original girls. The second one could be all Spoonie Bards. The third one could be JRPG protagonists or heroes. And the fourth one could be super villains, And I went ahead and I came up with all these cool little ideas of who to put there in the badges. And I went, and this took forever, by the way. I went and I submitted it to YouTube. YouTube comes back. They're like, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Do it. And then I look, and guess what happens? All the badges for all the tiers are exactly the same. And I'm like, what the hell's the point of this? This is so ridiculous. It's kind of funny whenever you're more creative and you're more imaginative than the frickin' stupid company. So, yeah. But anyway, I decided that there are these little emojis, and you can create or you can put different things inside the little emojis that members can use. So I was like, okay, well, instead of making the little badges, for each little membership, because I can't do that because it's completely pointless now, I can make little special emojis. So I went and I designed little cute emojis, and they're super cute, and I'm gonna put them all into one little chat right now just so you guys can see them all. I think that they're absolutely adorable. They're so freaking adorable, I can't even stand it. So, yeah, there they all are. We have little emojis now. That's something different for us. So I think that that's fun. Oh, I see some other original girls out there showing off their little emojis as well. So I think that that's just super cute. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. That, you know, I'm not exactly tech savvy or anything, but if I can figure it out, anybody can figure it out. Yeah. Somebody asked, or Insanity Force said, who's the third emoji? That's Sylvando. And Sylvando's playing his little flute. I think it's super cute. So, yeah. The next thing I want to talk about. I got an email this morning from the post office. And the email pretty much just said, hey, you got mail in your P.O. box. And I'm like, oh, wow, I have mail in my P.O. box? This is so cool. I cannot wait to go check my mail. Oh my God, what did I get? Oh, this is gonna be great. You know, I've never had a P.O. box before in my life. This is so exciting to me. So, yeah, I was like, this is wonderful. So, I drive over, out of my way, to the post office. I'm going through my receipts and I'm like, okay, what's my P.O. box number? I'm looking, okay, find it. I go inside the post office, open up my P.O. box, I look inside, there's a letter, and I'm like, oh, great, there's a letter. Somebody sent me a letter. This is so cool. It's a letter to Karen Miranda. It's junk mail from Chase Bank. Yeah, my first thing in my P.O. box that I went out of my way for is junk mail that's not even addressed to me. Like, it's like, come on. Like, come on now, people. I just thought that was just really, really funny. And apparently many of you do too. I just think that is just hysterical. Yeah. Oh, good God. Yeah, Wesley Wyndham Price said, it's membership length. You can change the picture of the membership. Yes, indeed. But there's still only 6 total badges that you can put in there. But it does kind of rotate and change based upon how long you've been a member. So the longer you've been a member, the I don't know, the badge changes. I don't know if it like automatically changes or if you can choose to change. I really have no idea how the whole stupid thing works. I set it up. Y'all figure it out. I really have no idea. Oh, I have a donation from, I'm very sorry, from Gohik Trisona? Gorik Trisona? Thank you so much. And again, I apologize. I'm very sorry for mispronouncing your name. I'm sure I did. But thank you so much for your incredibly generous donation. Thank you so much. It says, I hope this makes up for the junk mail. It does. I need to throw that straight in the trash. I just thought it was hysterical. And I was driving home and I'm like, I went out of my way by 20 minutes to go to this stupid post office in 50-degree weather, in the rain, in the wind, for some junk mail that's not even addressed to me. I'm like, what in the world? What is happening? Oh, Jeffrey Wright, thank you so much for your donation. He says, this is the first week down of donating every stream. Keep the positive vibes and wonderful content coming. Shout out to all the original girls out there. Hell yeah, original girls. Hell yeah. Shout outs. Thank you so much. Let's see. So, the next thing that I want to talk about. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, don't we? I got a message from someone on the Discord, and there were some people in the general chat, and they were talking about, we'll get to that in just a minute then, won't we? We have a donation from Matthew Phillips. I saw your Final Fantasy emojis, now a super random comment. I used to think Edgar was a super lame character. Being older now, I appreciate Edgar a lot more. So, a while back, like a year ago or so, I ranked all the characters of Final Fantasy VI. And I ranked the Figaro brothers as 1 and 2, Oh, God almighty. I'll get to you guys in a minute. Holy crap. And anyway, I ranked the Figaro Brothers as 1 and 2, and this was a pretty controversial ranking, I've got to say. But I put Sabin as number 2, and I put Edgar as number 1. Good night, Flying Ninja. And the reason for that was because I'm old. I haven't played Street Fighter since, like, 1994. And, yeah. So putting in the little Sabin blitzes, that can be kind of difficult for me. And I would say 50% of the time, he'll come out, he'll shine, his chest will pop out, and also incorrect blitz input. And I'm like, oh, fuck this guy. So I ended up putting Edgar as number 1 because the tools are so much easier to use. You just select the frickin' tool and you're done. You don't have to deal with it. You know what I mean? Man. We have a donation from Dave Donovan. He says, liking the emojis. Well, thank you so much. And Dave, I have to ask, your profile picture, what is it? Is it a dog or is it like or is it like a seal? I'm not entirely sure what it is. To me, it looks like a little pug with his like tongue hanging out. It's super cute. But also just looking at it, it also looks kind of fat and blubbery like a seal. I don't really know. I'm confused. I want to know what your photograph is. Starman donates and says, finally got to see a live stream. Love your channel and everything that you do here. Thank you so much, Starman. I had a bad day yesterday, just having to make that video, and really I had to have a heart-to-heart with myself and think about myself and put myself first for that. So seeing all of you guys here to still join me for these live streams and to still be supporting me and to still be loving everything that I'm doing, I am completely humbled. I really am. I am just blown away, taken aback, and I do thank you so much. I see everybody else agrees with me that, yeah, Edgar is overpowered AF, like for real. Oh, we have a donation from Stephanie Pollard. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you. She says, I'm having a blast on here. You rock, David. Would you consider putting together a playlist of your favorite JRPG tracks? This music lover would love to see something like that. No rush, of course. P.S. Edgar's number 1. He certainly is. And also, who's hotter, Sabin or Edgar? I really can't tell. Like, both of them they both have like their own hotness, if you know what I mean. Like Edgar, like you can tell, like he's fire in the bedroom, but Sabin's body, like oof. But Edgar is just so like gentlemanly and poised. You know what I'm saying? But Sabin has like that scruffiness and like wild man about him. Okay, I need to stop. I need to stop. Yeah, I've actually had a lot of people ask about JRPG tracks, JRPG music, things like that. I would love to put something together, something along those lines together for you guys. If I did, there would be no commentary from me. It would just be like just relax and listen to the music sort of video. And that's perfectly fine by me. And guess what? Now that I don't have Let's Plays going on, that is something that I can fit onto my plate. This is what I was talking about. If I take something else off my plate, I can add something else onto it, something that's not that hard to do, honestly. But thank you so much, Stephanie, for your donation. Timbermaniac says David could suplex a train if he tried. We'll see. Riz S donates and says, why are we called Spoony Bards? Why not Death Knights? Have you played Final Fantasy IV, Riz S? I just have to wonder. Because what JRPG fan really asked that question? Why are we called Spoony Bards? We should all know why we're called Spoony Bards. Yeah. Oh, my comments just jumped again. Let's see. We have a donation from Matthew Phillips. Thank you so much, Matthew. Back in the day, I used to be very superficial whenever choosing my favorite JRPG characters. Now I go for utility. By the way, awesome stream. Thank you so much. I do try. I'm the same way. Like, well, it kind of depends. But a lot of the times, like, the hotness factor also overlaps with, like, the usefulness factor. Like, for example, I always like to have Yuri in my party in Shadow Hearts because, he's incredibly useful and he's the hero and he's hot as hell. But then also Joachim, who's super hot. I always like to have him in my party, and thank God he's super useful as well. And then in Shadow Hearts 3, since we're just on a theme right now, Ricardo. Oh my God, if you haven't played Shadow Hearts 3 and you don't know who I'm talking about, Ricardo could serenade me any day of the week. He is beautiful. Ooh, my. Okay, let's see. Let's go through some of these comments. Oh, Owens of Fate says Cyan's the hottest. Come on, man. Yeah. He's an older gentleman too. Yeah, nothing wrong there. We have another donation from Keith Lloyd Darling. Thank you so much, Keith. Thank you so much. My greatest RPG tragedy regards the PSX port of Final Fantasy VI. I just could not pull off the Sadman inputs for his introductory fight. I have since beat it, but yeah. I remember sitting there playing Final Fantasy VI and having the Nintendo Power magazine on the floor, open next to me, and it's saying how to defeat Vargas, and you had to do the pummel blitz on him. And I know that eventually the game will even say, you need to use pummel. This is how you do pummel. You hit, I think it's back, forward, back. I'm pretty sure. It's been a minute since I've played. But yeah, I remember even sitting there with the game telling me and reading the Nintendo Power being like, I really have to do a button sequence? And then finally I was like, I guess this is just Street Fighter, and boom, 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 there it goes. So yeah, I was always able to beat Vargas, but I do understand your confusion. Let's see. What else are we talking about? Oh, Timber Maniacs. He says, I'd take Cyan over Shadow. He'd slit his mama's throat for a nickel. Mondo N05 says, oh, Mondo number 5. Just wasn't that a song back in the day? The Mambo number 5. Was that a song or was that a singer? I kind of think it was a song. And it was a popular song. I remember there was a video about it. They were on a beach and they were dancing around with some halfway naked girls or whatever. But that was a big song back in 2000. Mambo number 5. It says, Shadow Hearts is so underrated. It is. Shadow Hearts is amazing. Love. Love Shadow Hearts. Mivok says, Ricardo could burn a cigarette on me and I'd say thank you. Oh my God, that is so funny. Holy crap. You know what? In roughly 20 days, guess what's coming up? April Fool's Day. You know what I did last April Fool's? I did that. It was top 10 hottest JRPG characters or sexiest JRPG characters or whatever the hell it was. And I put a thumbnail of Riku with her boobs falling out and she's, wearing a little Speedo or whatever the hell she's wearing. And she's laying there with her little blonde hair cascading on the beach. And did I talk about Riku? No. Did I talk about any girls at all? No. I just talked about hot guys. So I want to see I want to see some more hot guys because I got 20 days to come up with another list and I completely forgot about that. But man, I could totally do some, hot guys. I would totally do another sexiest JRPG characters because that shit was hysterical. And my favorite part about that was reading the comments from the burned straight men who were like, what the hell is this? And then other people being like, I don't know if you're gay or not, but if you keep on doing videos like this, people might think that you're gay, and you don't want that. And I'm thinking, why wouldn't I want that? Who cares? Oh, God. Donation from Riz S. Thank you so much, Riz S. He says, Magus from Chrono Trigger. He flies a long screen. Yeah, he does. Whenever you control him, he's always floating around and everything. He is cute, too. If you look at some of his official artwork and all that, and his abs are out and everything, I'm like, oh, my God. Oh. That's right. Okay, so Monica Monica number 5. Mambo number 5 was Breach says it was a song. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side. A little bit of Rita's all I need. A little bit of you is what I need. I don't know. It has been a minute, but I do remember that song. That was definitely an earworm around whenever I was in college. That was all over the airwaves, all over MTV and everything else. So yeah. Oh, let's see. Oh, Gay Statue says Malik from Tales of Berseria. That could work. Or he says Graces. Sorry, I thought that. Which one was he in? Are you talking about like the hot blonde guy? Um, I thought that was Berseria. Maybe it is Graces. I don't know. All the Tales games, they kind of run together in your mind too, especially if you haven't played them in quite a bit of time. And of course, Daddy Gladdy from Final Fantasy 15. He is super hot. Okay, yeah, so yeah, he is from Graces. Let's see. Oh, Jonathan from Shin Megami Tensei 4 is super hot. Ban 1442 says, I might know that if I played more of Shin Megami Tensei. I do play some of it here and there, but I'm not the biggest fan of SMT games. They're just a little bit too dark for me. Carlos said Sylvando. Well, you can say Sylvando all you want. I'm thinking Hendrik. Man, Hendrik was ooh my, be still my heart. Adam Darren says, I love that list. Also your Men on Games series. Yeah, the Men on Games is fun. And, speaking of which, the inspiration, I don't know where this comes from. The inspiration for a lot of my videos, like, they come from whenever I'm just in the shower. Like, I'm in the shower, nothing else is going on. I'm just kind of like in my own headspace, and I'm just thinking to myself. And I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I made like a Men on Games where Cecil and Kane are in love with each other, and I kind of retold the story from that viewpoint, and Cecil's like a jilted lover because Kane keeps on going over to Golbez or whatever, and I just thought it might be kind of funny, and then I did that, and it kind of was a hit. So then whenever I played the Final Fantasy VII Remake, the Final Fantasy VII Remake was like, it was like they designed the game around being parodied for a Men on Games, because that was like the funniest shit ever. How Cloud was purposely like, Jesse, go away, like you're thirsty, and then how like the boys were even hitting on him and everything. It was tailor made for a Men on Games. I had to do it. It was definitely really good. Party Dude corrected me. He said Eisen was from Berseria. Got you. Yeah, again, all like cute blonde guys, they kind of get caught in my mind, so yeah. Oh, let's see. Roman Jr. 316 says, your being gay is irrelevant. I'm a straight man and I watch you and your content because it's good. It's funny hearing my favorite characters discuss the way that you do sometimes. Well, thank you. I do appreciate that comment. And I just think it's interesting just to like talk about different things. Like I like to just be different. I don't want to be just, doing same old. It's just fun to just do little things, a little bit different, just kind of mix it up here and there. Racia says, you just know that Eustace and Machias are destined for each other. That is like the greatest love story never told. Poor Eustace and Machias. You know that they definitely want each other. And Eustace, super hot. Stephanie Pollard said, Jessie was way overboard. I like her, but damn, I know what you mean. Like, she was ridiculous. Like, she was just so thirsty, Just so thirsty, and like, it was like gross. It's just like, okay, it's one thing to say that somebody's cute or to like them, whatever, but she was just kind of gross about it, I'm just kind of like, yeah, no. Okay. Oh, I have a lot of people giving me all sorts of giving me all sorts of answers on who the hottest people are here. Something else that I want to talk about, and it's actually on my list, is I can't remember who brought it up in the Discord. Somebody brought this up in the Discord, and I wish that I wrote down their name, but I'm sorry, and I didn't. But they asked me if I remembered Tay from Cockatoo. And Tay, if you don't know, is Talk Amongst Yourselves, and it was this thing about, like, Kinja or something. There was this huge controversy on the website whenever Cockatoo went from just being, like, just like a regular thing. You have the articles, and then you have, like, comments about it or whatever. But the Kinja, like, changed it, and it made it all, like, complicated, and it was kind of ridiculous. But there was this one feature with it where you could kind of post your own stuff. So whenever I first started doing my channel, I was like, I could take advantage of this, and I could post my own stuff. And there was a couple of times that I went on Talk Amongst Yourselves, and I and I posted some of my earlier videos, and I think I got some subscribers from that. And I remember I got a comment one time, and this was years after I quit doing the Talk Amongst Yourselves thing on Cockatoo, and I got a comment, and it said, somebody copied this video verbatim, and they put it on an article. And I'm like, really? Could you link me to that? I would like to look into that. And they linked me my own Cockatoo Talk Amongst Yourselves article, and I'm like, I wrote that. So so that was just kind of funny to me. Zasmine says, bro, your channel is awesome. I rediscovered a passion for gaming during the pandemic that I never played RPGs before, but I've used your videos to choose which ones I want to play. Oh, well, thank you. Mavok says Dogi from the E series is underrated for his hotness. Yes, he is, especially Dogi in Ys 8. Holy crap, he is super hot. He looks like he is about ready to do like a Disco Inferno on me. He is, whoo, my God, he's hot. Yeah, he is looking damn fine. He has a nice tan too. Normally he's really pale in a lot of the other ones, but he's looking super, super hot. Yeah. Oh, Ryudo. I could kind of see Ryudo. I can kind of see that. He's kind of like hot in like that bad boy way. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, Dynasty Girl says, you being gay is irrelevant. Your content is just good, and that's why I watch you. Thank you so much, Dynasty Girl. Yeah. So I see a lot of you guys actually have a lot of people that you think are good looking. So maybe I can go through and I can figure out who it is that is, the hottest ones again, and do a part 2. That might be fun. Might be a fun little April Fool's thing to do. Theo Molinox says, Tifa's the hottest lady shaped like the letter P, y'all. Take that slander back. Maybe I'll put Tifa on the cover or on the thumbnail of that video, and that will draw in and kind of troll some more people, because it's just interesting. It's just interesting. Yeah. Albino Rhino says, I know that they try to use Jade as a sex symbol for Dragon Quest XI, but your hometown girl is better in my opinion. Yeah, Gemma was kind of cute. She was kind of nice, I liked her. She was kind of sweet, I've got to say. Lang. Oh, man. Xander Lease. Xander Lease is pulling one out. You know that they have played some obscure JRPGs. If Xander Lease is over here pulling out Lang from Legend of Legaia 2. Legaia 2. I always pronounce that wrong for whatever reason. My pronunciation is shit, I am aware. But a lot of people say that Legend of Legaia is underrated, underappreciated, a hidden gem, whatever it is. I didn't think it was a hidden gem. I think it's fantastic. I think that everybody should play Legend of Legaia. But the sequel was dumpster fire material. So for her to have even known about it or even played it, like, man, but Lang, that is a good choice. Good choice. William Booth says, a video ranking JRPG women from the biggest bitches to the biggest sweethearts. Oh my god. Like, that is hysterical. Because you know how they have, like, these tsundere girls who are always just so mean and nasty and everything, and they want to be so, like, you know, so uptight or whatever. And then they kind of come around to you. And then there's other, like, really sweet girls. That is true. A lot of these women, they come off as such bitches. Like Elisa in Cold Steel 1. I wanted to smack a cunt right there. God. We have a donation from TT Paradigm. Paradigm. That's right. He says, hey, David, take the last of my cash until I get paid tomorrow. My gift to you for my 28th birthday. Love your content, my dude. Well, thank you so much. I mean, you don't have to give what you can't or anything, but thank you. And I feel bad taking money from you on your birthday, and, you know, but I can't really do anything about it now. But thank you. I do thank you. Thank you. I think that's really sweet. Thank you so much. I feel bad, but thank you. Timber Maniac says, no one's nicer than Toa, and Carlos goes, Maribel gets better. Maribel does get better. But it takes a long time for that bitch to come around. Man, she was just, ooh, I don't know. Oh, TT Paradigm says, no sweat, dude. Just wanted to share the love. Well, thank you. Yeah, the love has been shared. We are good. Let's see. Oh, yeah. There's actually a lot of birthday boys in here. Just birthday girls and boys in here. I've got to say, I've noticed a lot of people saying that it's their birthday. My birthday's coming up. Not soon enough yet, but it is coming up. Theo Molinox says, Chun-Li is the first lady of fighting games. Of course the gays would flock to an alpha female who can take down men twice her size. I'm gonna say, for the record, whenever I played Street Fighter 2, guess who I chose? Chun-Li. I did. And then whenever Super Street Fighter 2 came out, they introduced another girl, Cammy. And she was like basically Guile, but in a onesie. Or a leotard, over the hell she wore with that stupid hat on her head too. And I didn't like her. I didn't use her. I thought that she was just kind of dumb. But I always used Chun-Li. I like jumping around. You could like jump off the side of the screen. You could jump high in the air. You could like jump on top of people's heads and all that. It was great. The other person that I would pick would be Doslam. I loved using Doslam because my favorite thing was like whenever they couldn't reach you, they would try to like jump towards you, you kick them in the crotch. You know, they'd try to slide down underneath, you do the double punch on them. You know, they would just be like, okay, well, I'm not going to approach you, so then you shoot a fireball up their ass. I loved me some Doslam. I will say, though, remember whenever they gave Doslam a teleportation ability, and I think it was in Street Fighter 2 Turbo, they gave Chun-Li like a little projectile that was really slow, and it only went like halfway across the screen, and it was a piece of crap, and nobody ever used it. But then they went and they gave... we have a donation from Koshiro. Thank you for your generosity, Koshiro. Thank you so much. He says, loving the stream. Cheers. Cheers to you as well with my water. Cheers. Thank you so much. Okay, so we were talking about Doslam and his teleport. I can't get over the generosity. I really cannot get over the generosity of you guys. I think it's wonderful, and I do. Thank you so much. They gave Doslam this teleport ability, but like in Mortal Kombat, if you wanted to teleport using Raiden or the other guy with the hat, I don't remember his name, all you had to do was hit like up or down. Like it was like literally up, down, boom, and then you teleport. And it was quick, and it was easy, and it was fun, and it was fast. With Doslam, you had to like put in like the nuclear codes for him to teleport. It was ridiculous. ridiculous. It was like spin around your entire controller while also holding L and R and hit up and A, and then you hit the Konami code as well. It was like a 40 button combination. It was insane. And I have not played Street Fighter since the ones on the SNES. Maybe I would hope that they have made his teleportation easier than it was back then. But back then, like, I'm telling you, like, it was like setting off the freaking nuclear codes. It was ridiculous. Also, fun fact, Zangief is gay. Just saying. I never used Zangief. I thought that he was easily the worst of the 8 original fighters. He was absolutely terrible, but he's gay. It's canon. It is what it is. And there you go. Good on representation. I wish that they made him a better character, because as a character, he sucks. Oh, everybody's talking about Street Fighter 2 now. Oh, Nathan Jones said Street Fighter Alpha 2 was probably one of my favorites. Guy was such a fun character. Was Guy the same guy as the one from Final Fight? You know the game I'm talking about? The Final Fight game on the SNES? And you had Guy and you had Hagar, or whatever the hell his name was, the big, beefy, steroidal muscle man who was hot as hell. And then there was Guy with his little shirt on, and I wish he took that shirt off. Is that the same guy? Because I kind of think it is. I think that they were both made by Capcom, so they probably kind of put those two franchises together, maybe? Chibi Kuthlu says, Zangief is the muscle queen of the series. Yes, he is. Yes, he was. I used to have a crush on Vega, of all people. Vega. I don't know, something about the mask. Like, finish me, Vega. Finish me. I mean, he was running around in those tiny red trunks, so hey, Daddy Z, Theo Molyneux says. Yeah, hey. No kidding. The problem with Zangief was he was slow as molasses in January. He had no range to his moves, and his special moves that you had to use, you had to, like, spin the control pad in, like, a 360-degree motion, and I can't do that. That's one of the reasons why I never used Bowser in Super Mario RPG. People would always say that Bowser's so great, Bowser's so wonderful, Bowser's your tank, blah, 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 blah. Bowser sucks balls. His moves suck. He's slow as molasses. Yeah, he's a tank, but you got Mario for that. His crap costs way too much magic. The best party, bar none, I'm gonna say it right now and take it to my grave. This will be the hill that I die on. Best party in Mario RPG. Mario, Princess Toadstool, Mallow. Not Geno, Mallow. That is the hill that I die on, and I'm sure I'm going to get harangued in the comments for it. But, yeah, just saying. Starfish92 Abel asks, hey, David, I like your shirt. Where'd you get it from? Okay, there's nothing I like better than a good clearance sale. Nothing I like better than a good clearance sale. And I was in Guess, and they had this shirt, and it was $6.99. And I'm like, hell yeah, for $6.99. And you know what the best thing about it is? If you go out to, like, a club or a bar or a little black light party or whatever, it, like, glows in the black light. It's really freaking cool. Really cool. I really do like that. Some damn fangirl says, I would love a Final Fantasy VI remake too. Girl, same. Take that game, remake it in the style of Octopath Traveler with those beautiful 2D graphics and everything. That would be amazing. I would love that. However, I will say this. There needs to be some rebalancing in regards to the Magicite in Final Fantasy VI. Insofar as, like, you don't always want magic. Or maybe the Magicite should only give you magic spells, and it shouldn't actually up your stats. Because what you end up doing is passing around the same, plus magic magicite to every single person, and then they all just become, super powered magic casters here and there. And so it does need a little bit of rebalancing. There are some hacks out there on romhacking.net that does make it a bit more balanced, a bit more fun, changes things around, makes it so that you actually equipped weapons for magical growth in the same vein of Final Fantasy IX. But yeah, I think that would be amazing. Yeah. Bizounce 3 took the words out of my mouth. He says, I think that I would want to remake Final Fantasy VI with something like Octopath 2. Yeah. Took the words right out of my mouth. The other day, I wore, it was like a, what was it called? It was like a sleeveless hoodie thing, but it was almost meshy or whatever. And a lot of people were like, I really like your shirt. Where'd you get it? And I only saw the comments about liking my shirt, where did I get it, after I was done with the stream. Because after I do the stream, I always like to go back through and I rewatch the stream because I'm just crazy. This is what I do. I'm insane. I know. I rewatch the stream and I go through and I read everybody's comments. My computer just turned off and turned on for some reason. I don't know why. I swear to God, it's possessed. And I saw all these people asking about it, and I'm like, oh, well, just so you know, whenever I bought this one on clearance for $6.99, I bought that one on clearance for $8.99 at Guess. Exact same clearance rack. However, there was like 20 of these and only one of those, and I bought it a size too big because it was super cute, and I thought this might be nice for like pool parties. Vegas has their little pool parties, and hopefully the pools will be open this summer. They better fucking be. And it would be like a cute little sarong to wear down to the pool, if you know what I mean. I can't even say it with a straight face. I really can't. Donations. One from Matthew Phillips. Thank you so much, Matthew. Thank you. He says, a 2.5D remake of Final Fantasy VI would be awesome, but I'm often turned off by games in which all characters can max everything. Final Fantasy VI is ripe for a story expansion. I agree. Final Fantasy VI, as a child, Final Fantasy VI was not one of my favorites. I have only grown to love it and grown to appreciate it over the years. Final Fantasy IV and the original Final Fantasy on the NES were still my favorite Final Fantasies. And the reason for that, say it with me, viewers, is because in Final Fantasy VI, everyone can do everything. That was the start of the whole thing. But then they really took it and they ran with it in Final Fantasy VII, and then they perfected it in Final Fantasy VIII, that boring piece of fucking garbage dumpster fire Final Fantasy VIII. I hate you so much, I'll hate you to the day that I die. Urgh. But anyway, say what you will about the Final Fantasy series, but thankfully they have gotten away from that everyone can do everything mindset that they were in during the PlayStation era. I don't mind an everyone can do everything if it's in regards to a job system such as Final Fantasy V. Yeah, you have the 4 main characters, but you got 30 different jobs? I mean, that's perfectly fine with me. Perfectly fine. You're not gonna make, I mean, I guess you could, make 4 black mages or 4 fighters or 4 thieves or whatever. Even there in Final Fantasy V, even though everybody can conceivably do everything, you don't play it that way. You know what I mean? It's just different. And Final Fantasy VI, I felt like Edgar just steamrolled everything, and it just, as a kid, I was like, oh, this is too easy, too babyish. Here I am, a teenager. This is too kiddie and babyish. Yeah, I could reach through a time portal and smack myself. Donation from Cooling. Thank you so much for your incredible generosity. Thank you. This all just blows me over. It really does. He says, thank you for all the wonderful content. It really brightens my day. and the Discord has been a great way to connect with other JRPG lovers, such an awesome community. Cheers. I'm going to tell you what. There was no one more apprehensive of the Discord than me. I was very apprehensive. I've never really heard of a Discord until like January. It wasn't anything on my radar at all. And then whenever I heard that it wasn't like a website, like this is what really got to me about the Discord. You couldn't like type in a website URL and go to it. It wasn't a website. It was an app. And that to me was a stumbling block. Because to me, an app is something that's on your telephone. Boomer alert, I know. An app is something that's on your telephone. It's not something that's on your computer. So it was this, I couldn't get past that in my mind, that it's an app and not a website. And it really just blocked me. It was like a mental block. I couldn't get by it. But my friend Chris came over. He spent 2 hours plus setting up the Discord for me. I have some great, fantastic moderators in there who have been nothing but helpful, nothing but great, nothing but good to me, literally walking me through it. And I'll ask a question and they'll take a screenshot of what they're talking about. And then they'll like put an arrow, like click here. And I'm like, this is perfect. This is what the boomer in me needs. I need screenshots and explicit instruction. That's what I need. To actually use a teaching term, I need explicit instruction. That's what I need. Oh, we have a new member. Welcome to the Original Girls Club, Sean Myers, but for right now, you're a spoony bard. Thank you so much for joining my channel, Sean Myers. Thank you so much. And be sure to check out all the cool little emojis. And guess what? I was looking at the little emojis and I was making them up. And whenever I first saw the emojis, it showed that I could only make 6. It said 6 badges and 6 emojis. But whenever I went in there today to make the emojis, it said that there was 8. And I'm like, why are there 8? This doesn't make any sense. Why are there 8? There was 6 the other day. And apparently, you can have more emojis based on how many more members there are. So, and then it said it needs 1 more member to unlock the 9th emoji. So we got another original girl, so we can get another emoji. And then tomorrow I will post a little messagey chat community post thingamabopper to the original girls and say, hey, what do you want this new emoji to be? And we can all discuss it, and then we can make the emoji. We have some more donations. I got off on a little tangent right there. This is from Band1442. Thank you so much, Band, for your donation. Thank you. Isn't it crazy that just a week ago you had no idea how to stream and Discord, and now look at you? I know. Like I said in last night's video, there's been a lot on my plate. I know, and it has been a learning process, and I have been in a rut, and I have been just kind of like doing what I like I said, sometimes as an adult, you just kind of get into a rut. You just kind of get into like the swing of things, and you just do the same thing every single day. So don't get mad at your parents, viewers, because I completely get it. Like, I have my own boomer alerts. We all understand. And I was in my own little rut. And I'm getting out of my rut. You guys are dragging me, kicking and screaming out of my rut. But I'm getting out of my rut. Slowly but surely. Oh, we have another donation. And then my comments just jumped. Another donation from X Blue Smoke X. Thank you so much for your donation. He says, have you ever played the Aiden Chronicles for the N64? Thoughts? We're opening up a can of worms right now, aren't we? Good Lord. So, I've said before for the N64 that was my brother's system. We both had the NES, both had the SNES, and then the great schism happened, where Square left Nintendo and Square went to PlayStation, and Nintendo kept on going on the Nintendo route. So I bought the PlayStation because, Final Fantasy VII. Duh. And Daniel got the N64 because Ocarina of Time. Duh. And I remember just laughing and laughing and laughing gleefully for years about how his system sucked. And then he was like, I have an RPG for it that you don't. And I was so jealous. I was so jealous. And I went into his room, and he's such a little bitch, and he slammed the door. You can't watch. You can't watch. You can't watch me play this game because you don't have the N64, and it's my system. You know what game he was playing? Quest 64. And you know why he slammed the door in my face? Because he knew that it sucked, and it was horrible, and it was just horrible. So, he never did buy the Aiden Chronicles. I played Aiden Chronicles for like 5 minutes on an emulator that I downloaded because in college I wanted to play the Super Paper Mario. Just Paper Mario. I wanted to play the Paper Mario. I wanted to play the Ogre Battle 64, because I wasn't able to play those games because Daniel was a bitch. And I played it for like 5 minutes, and I was like, I didn't miss anything. So, yeah. Oh, we have a new member, Mr. Horseshoe. Welcome to the Original Girls Club, Spoony Bard. I have to ask, Mr. Horseshoe, who is your avatar? Who is that? That looks very familiar to me. It's like it looks like a Mr. Ed thing. I'm going to age myself and say Mr. Ed. Everybody can tell everybody else who Mr. Ed is now because I'm sure a lot of people won't know, but I do. Oh, good Lord. Oh, comments just jumped again. But yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the donations. Thank you so much for becoming members. This is so fun to me. And I have a billion comments to read through. Oh, this is funny. X blows smoke. X goes, Mr. Horseshoe. And he burned him with smoke. He burned him with Dragon Lord fire. Chibi Cthulhu says, are you old enough to be a boomer, though? If you grew up in the 90s, then you technically are a Gen Xer. I know. I'm just making fun. My parents are boomers. I am a Zennial, apparently, which is like half Gen X, half millennial. So, yeah, I don't know if I agree with Zennial, but, I would say, I don't know, I kind of get it. I kind of get the whole, I don't know, like, I don't know if I relate to millennials all that much. Like, who cares? The whole generation thing, who gives a shit? Like, seriously, who cares? It's just a fun, stupid joke. It really is. It's just a joke. So, yeah. Timbermaniac says, David ages backwards like Benjamin Button. I had to read that book in 6th grade. I remember reading that book, and then we had to draw, like, a picture about what we read or whatever. And I drew a picture of Benjamin Button, and he was, like, kind of, like, floating in the air, and then he would, like, in the next picture, his, like, legs reach the ground, or something like that. I don't know. It's been 6th grade. My God. I have no idea what I'm talking about now, so... Richard D says, that's sibling pettiness. Anybody who has a sibling knows about the sibling pettiness. It's all there. We all know about the sibling pettiness. I remember I for my birthday one year, my parents took me to Toys R Us. And they said, you can pick out any game that you want. So I was like, okay. And I must have been young, because guess what game I picked out? I picked out Contra 2, which was known as Super C. And why did I pick out Contra 2? Because Contra was the very first game that we'd ever beaten together. My brother and I played it together, and we put in the Konami code where we cheated like bastards, and we beat Contra. So I picked out Super C. And I was such a bitch. And Daniel wanted to play it with me. And I'm like, no, it's my game and my birthday. And I made him cry. And then that night, because he was like, I'll just play it whenever you're in bed, because he was older than me. I put it underneath my pillow, and I went to sleep with that game under my pillow because I was like, over my dead body you'll play it. Like, the sibling pettiness, it is real. It is real. Like, we get along perfectly fine now. I mean, we're both adults, but oh man, like the pettiness. Good Lord. Sean Myers donates. Thank you so much, Sean Myers. He says, who was your most and least favorite of the 108 Stars of Destiny in Suikoden? Most favorite, Flick. Because Flick is hot AF. And because, he came with that lightning rune. It's raining outside. Holy crap, it's actually raining quite a bit. It rained for like 2 seconds earlier today. Like, okay, how do you know you're from Nevada? When you look at the window and you're like, whoa, it's raining. It never rains here. I'm telling you, it never rains here. It never rains here. Flick, definitely the favorite. Hot AF, super powerful, great swordsman, great magician, great all-rounder, has 3 rune slots. Fantastic. Least favorite? I mean, there's some obnoxious guys. I'm going to go with, you know what? I said obnoxious. You know those annoying characters videos that I've done before? I've only put a couple Stars of Destiny on there. One that I put on there as most annoying was Cornelio from Suikoden 5. That bitch was annoying as hell. So yeah, I am definitely going to choose him as the least favorite. Mivok says, do you listen to any history podcasts? If so, do you have any recommendations? I do not. Again, boomer alert. I don't really even know what a podcast is. I assume it's like a radio station that you tune into on an iPad, and then people talk about stuff like AM radio or something. Like, I really have no idea what a podcast is. I just listen to the radio. Like, that's what I listen to. If I'm going to listen to something, I listen to the radio in the car, or I listen to my little iTunes whenever I'm at home. Oh my god, today I was cleaning up the kitchen, and I was dancing around the kitchen to Bananarama's I Heard a Rumor. Love that song. It puts me into such a good mood. I love that stupid song. It puts me in such a good mood. So, yeah. Richard D says, wait, am I imagining that you live in Vegas too? I do live in, well, technically I live in Henderson, which is Las Vegas. So yeah, I live in Vegas. JD Turin Kai says, Sanchez, prepare to die, you dirty Sanchez. Ew. Can you guys hear that? Can you hear that? That is raindrops hitting the window. Because it's not just like little bullshit raining. It's like raining. It is shocking to me. Oh my gosh. This is so cute. My neighbor has all these girls. It's a cute, nice little Mormon couple. And all their girls are like under 10. And they haven't seen rain in so long. They're all literally running around in the street right now, just running and dancing and splashing in puddles and doing crap that I never did as a kid because it rained all the time in Georgia. It wasn't a thing. But these girls like haven't seen rain in over a year, and they're like, "Oh my God, rain!" And they're just jumping around. It's so cute to watch. It's so cute. Okay. Anyway, enough about what's happening with the rain because it's just so fascinating. Explo Smoke X says, my brother, 10 years my elder, used to burn my toys on the stove and flush them down the toilet. What the hell? In return, I stole shit from him all the time. Holy crap. I will say this, I never burned any of my brother's stuff on the stove. My parents would have killed me. The house would have stunk of plastic and everything. Oh my God, there's like 8 of them outside all screaming and yelling and everything. It's just so funny to me. Ray Cia says podcast equals modern talk radio. Okay. So yeah. God. I remember the worst thing I think that my brother ever did. Like, okay, he did some shitty shit. But one of the worst things that he ever did, it wasn't to me. It was to this girl, Jill. And Jill lived in our neighborhood. And Jill lived with her grandmother. And I don't really know the story behind why she lived with her grandmother and not her mother or whatever, what the deal was. But I'm sure poor Jill was going through some stuff. And I feel bad about it as an adult looking back upon it. And anyway, she had just gotten a new watch. And she was very proud of her watch. And she was like showing it off on the bus on the way home. And, you know, this beautiful watch. And we were in middle school, probably 8th grade or so. And Daniel said, "Hey, Jill, can I see your watch?" So she shows it to him. And then Daniel said, "No, like, I really want to see it." So Jill took off her watch and gave it to Daniel. And Daniel threw it down the sewer drain. And I was like, what the hell? Why did you do? I could not believe that he did that. Could not believe that he did that. So then, because Daniel didn't have any like money saved up or anything, he just spent it all on CDs or whatever. I had to end up paying her back for what Daniel did. I had to give her $60 for what Daniel did, and it was such a freaking shitty thing for him to do, and I hope he feels bad about it right now. He probably completely forgot about it, but yeah, it really pissed me off. Donation from Corey Davis. Thank you so much for your donation, Corey. He says, "If I make a game, would you do a review of it?" I might, but, and here's the big but, everything I do on my channel is honest. So if I don't like it, I would be honest about that. So if you do submit a game to me for a review, please make sure it's good, because the last thing I want to have to do is tear apart somebody's game. Like, I don't want to do that. I really, really, really don't want to do that. I want to play a good game. You guys want to play a good game. Everybody wants to play a good game. I have no problems reviewing it as long as it's a length that is, you know, easy for me to do. I really kind of ignore indie games, to be quite honest with you. I really, really do. Like, if it's not released on a console, I completely ignore its entire existence. But yeah, just again, I'm very honest. Just make sure I'll like it. Please and thank you. Thank you. Okay, thanks, bye. So, yeah. Oh, God, people are talking about poor Daniel. But yeah, he did do that was really a shitty thing, though, that he did. Oh, really? Juan Castillo says, "Do you know Sarumaru?" No, I don't. He lives in Henderson and has a gaming channel. He's big into something, and then the comments just jumped. He's big into something. But no, I do not know of him. I've never even heard of him. There is no, like, secret club of YouTubers behind the scenes where we all get together and have a group chat and we talk about one another. Like, that doesn't exist. I don't know any of these bitches. All I know is me and my friends. I mean, maybe they talk amongst themselves and they do whatever it is that they do, but I don't. It's just me, all by my lonesome. I'm good. And quite honestly, I probably don't want to talk to those people anyway. I just don't. Oh, Corey Davis, another donation. Thank you so much for your donation, and I need some water. He says, "You better tell the truth. If you lie to me, I'll show up at your house." Yikes. Well, I don't want that. But no, I do not lie on this channel. I would definitely tell the truth. You know, speaking of which, and going back to indie games and reviews and not lying and being honest. Remember that review of Lisa that I did? It was about maybe a year ago or so. I don't remember exactly whenever it was, because I make these things and then they go out into the ether and then I just forget that they exist. Anyway, it was a person on YouTube. I don't remember his name. He could have even been a patron for all I know. And he asked me if I would do a review of Lisa. And I was like, I've never even heard of this Lisa. And then I was like, do you mean that like Lisa Cubed game, that really obscure Japanese Lisa Cubed thing that I have heard about on the cutting room floor? And he was like, no, it's this game Lisa on the Steam. So I'm like, no, I've never really heard about it. I don't own it. And then he's like, well, what about this? I'll gift it to you and you can make a review. And I'm like, I mean, if you want to send me a game, whatever, it's fine. But Lisa the Painful RPG, Big Value just said. So he goes and he gifts me the game. I don't know, it was like 99 cents or whatever. Doesn't even matter. And so I'm playing through the game, and I kind of felt bad because I'm like, this guy's a huge fan of this Lisa game. And apparently there's some like Lisa sequel, and there's this whole Lisa fan world or something out there. And I felt bad, and then I started playing the game, and I played it for about 4 hours or so, and I'm writing down my thoughts as I'm playing, and then I sent the guy a message, and I said, hey, I just want you to know that I really don't like this game. Do you still want me to make a review? And he's like, yeah, I'm sad, I'm upset that you don't like the game, but yeah, still make the review. Because I was gonna say, if I don't like it, I will definitely not make a review and kind of save you the hurt of that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I texted him that, and then he was like, no, go ahead and make the review. So I made the review, and I buried that bitch. I thought that it was one of the absolute worst games that I have ever played in my entire life. It made me want to go out and swallow some pills, for real. It was the most depressing thing I have ever encountered in gaming. It was I've played some depressing RPGs in my time. Not everything tells a happy story. I've cried at the end of Lufia 2. I cried whenever that really annoying girl in Tales of Xillia died. Even though she was annoying, she did grow on me. I cried with... I'm not going to spoil anything, but I cried... Because I just spoiled Xillia 2. But I cried whenever Kia... whenever that happened to Kia in the Trails of Azure game. I have played some depressing games in my time, or some depressing things, but this one was oh my god, you just want to go out and end you. I just wanted to end myself. I was like, who wants to play this? Come on. Man, these girls are having a field day out there. Matthew Phillips donates and says, I think that was the goal of Lisa. Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, it was painful. It was painful. It kind of reminded me of, this is funny. I remember reading a review for, it was Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. So everybody knows what I'm talking about here. Persona 2 Eternal Punishment for the original PlayStation. Even if you've never played it, I'm sure that you're aware of it. So I was on break at Publix, and one of the very few benefits that we had in the break room at Publix was that the magazine rack was right outside the break room door. So you would always just grab a magazine off the shelf. I would grab an EGM or a PSM or a Nintendo Power or whatever, and I would read the magazine while I was eating my TV dinner for my break. And I was reading this review of Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, and it said, at least they got the subtitle right, because believe me, this game is nothing but punishment. It was just and it was just so funny to me, because the review was so honest. It was this is the most painful, awful game I have ever played in my life, and it was they got the subtitle right, and it just made me laugh so much. Oh, another... God, Corey. Cheers to Corey with my water. Thank you so much for the donation, Corey. Hopefully my game will be worth the time to play. I'm currently doing a DLC for my game in a game jam sadly in a game. I'm currently doing a DLC for my game in a game jam. Sadly, because of the nature of the jam, I can't really flesh out the DLC how I want to. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. I look forward to hearing more about your game. So yeah, thank you so much. Oh, I haven't had a chance to read the comments in a while, so now let's go back into some of these comments, and yeah. Rick Stevenson, what's up, David? Hope the streams are going well. Quick off-base question. I'm a first-time Dragon Quest player here. Should I start with 1, 2, 3 on Switch? I created a Getting into the Dragon Quest series video on my channel. And this is what happens whenever I create videos. I create them, I put them onto Patreon, and they stay in Patreon purgatory for months. That one's been sitting in Patreon purgatory for quite a bit of time now. But believe me, it's there. So I would recommend, if you really want to get into the Dragon Quest series, there are 3 games that I would recommend you starting with. The first one I would recommend would be Dragon Quest V. The reason for that is because I feel like it's just the best one, and it's good representation of what the series is all about. The next one I would recommend is Dragon Quest VIII, because it is accessible, it is beautiful, it's a lot of fun, and then the next one that I would recommend would be Dragon Quest XI, simply because it is the most recent one, it's the most modern one, it would be easy to get into. That being said, if you were to go ahead and play them on through in the order of release, that would be the absolute best way to play them, would be the order of release, just going 1 through 11. The first 3 form what is known as the Erdrick trilogy, so they have their own complete little storyline, although there is some kind of retconning going in with Dragon Quest 8 and 11 as well, but that's neither here nor there. There's also another trilogy with 4, 5, and 6. That's the Zenithon trilogy. However, that trilogy is much more a trilogy in name only. Like, they have a couple things, a couple similarities, like the Zenithia, the wagon, multiple party members, stuff like that. But it's not a trilogy in storyline in the way that Dragon Quest 1 through 3 is. The rest of the Dragon Quests are standalone. Skip 10. 10 is an MMO. It was never released in America. And 9, I might hold out hopes for a remake. It's also hard to get a hold of. So, yeah. Oh, Stephanie Pollard, I love your comment. It says, Christo will always be Christo. Who the fuck is Kirill? Girl, go. Tell him. Tell him. Tell him. Yeah, those renaming conventions, not really a fan. Oh, I see some people are talking about ICO or ECO or ICO or whatever. I tried to get into ICO on the PlayStation 2, and I couldn't do it. I heard so many good things about it, so many great things, saying it was like, the next best thing in gaming, and I just thought it was boring and weird and stupid, and yeah, I really wasn't a fan. Hey, Miami Sunrise, good to see you as well. Good to see you too. So, yeah. Oh, people are talking about Sweet Home. Sweet Home is another one. Some damn fangirl says, I tried to play Sweet Home, but I just stopped. That's the same thing kind of happened to me as well. I tried to get into it. I heard it was a horror RPG, saw the translation patch. I played about a good 5 to 10 hours or so of it, but it was really just clunky, cumbersome, not really exactly made to have fun with, I guess. Like, it wasn't the most fun experience with gaming that I've had. We have a donation from Kibogu. He says, hey, David, would you be willing to do a top 10 of your favorite non-RPG RPG games. Guess what, Kabogu? Over on Patreon Purgatory, where I make these games and they sit for a year and a frickin' day, I actually have 2 videos on, I'm gonna have to go in about 5 minutes, because my throat's kind of bothering me. So I'll give it a good college try here. I got 5 more minutes with you guys, and then I'm gonna be going. But over on Patreon Purgatory, I have 2 videos about my favorite non-RPG games. One for the NES, one for the SNES. One about Metroidvanias on the NES, another one just about favorite non-RPG games. Those will be coming out once they finally get released from their Patreon Purgatory. I actually had to go through my Patreon today and figure out, okay, this is another little thing that I have on my long list of things to talk about at the very bottom. The video that will be released tomorrow, the little special video, or the top 10 video, I'll just tell you guys right now. About a month ago or so, I created a video called Top 10 Sequels that JRPG Developers Ruined. And I went and I made a part 2 of that video that, again, sat on Patreon Purgatory forever. And that first video sat on Patreon Purgatory forever as well. And yeah, I'm going to be putting that one out. And it's a part 2. So it's even more sequels that developers ruined. And I hope that you guys enjoy that one. That should be a lot of fun to go through. So yeah. I see. God, my throat really is bothering me. Joey Ashang says, is Jade Cocoon worth playing? I would say the first one is worth playing. It's a short jaunt. It is a lot of fun. The second one isn't as good, and maybe I might feel different if I played it nowadays. I haven't played it in a long time. Maybe I would feel different about it now after playing more modern RPGs and things like that. But I enjoyed it back whenever I played it on the PlayStation. Foxbear says, a boy in his blob? Foxbear's a man after my own heart. I played A Boy in His Blob on the NES. We used to rent it from Video Wonderland quite a bit. And I remember it being difficult, to say the least. One of the most difficult games I have ever played in my life. And if you use the wrong jelly bean at the wrong time just to experiment with what it did, you're screwed and you can't beat the game. I heard that they had a remake or a sequel or a remaster or a reimagining or something back on the Wii, and I wanted to get it, but for whatever reason I never actually did. It was... I can imagine that the remake on the Wii would be worlds better than the original on the NES. Okay, so I have time for probably one more question, and then I will go. Let me try to scroll through here and try to find a good question. Let's see. Oh, I like this one. Our Divine Mouse Overlord says, hi, David. Of all the RPGs that you've ever played, which one had the best soundtrack? And then the comments just jumped. His was Stella Deuce. Oh, we have a donation too. I guess I could stay a little bit longer for the donation. But my best soundtrack, I am very much partial to, and this should come as a surprise to no one, I am very much partial to Final Fantasy VI's soundtrack. I've always loved the soundtrack. Even as a kid, whenever I didn't like the game as much, I remember turning the game on and just sitting on the world map or sitting on the airship, just having the game on so I could listen to the music while I did my homework. I was always been a fan of Final Fantasy VI's music. I've always thought it was just fantastic. Final Fantasy VII has some great music. Chrono Trigger's music is wonderful as well. Always been a fan of those soundtracks. We have a donation from Martin LePage. Thank you so much for your donation, and I need water. Hi, David. I want to thank you for your Let's Play of Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. I'm playing Dragon Quest 3 at the moment, and you're always by my side. I can't stop saying, yikes, now. Well, thank you. That does make me happy. I also have Let's Plays of Dragon Quest 4, 5. I have 2 versions of 5, the PlayStation 2 version, the Nintendo DS version, and I have a Let's Play of Dragon Quest 11 on the channel as well. So I do hope that those will help you get through. Oh my gosh, you guys want me to stay on because the donations keep on coming in, and I'm not going to log off without reading a donation. So here we go. Even as my as my throat bothers me. Sorry. We have a donation from Stephanie Pollard. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. This has certainly been a highlight to what has started off as a not-so-great year. Since you're going soon, have a good night. And then she tried to put the little Edgar thing in there. Yeah, the Edgar thing is so cute. The little tiny emojis that I have in there. And that's right, I'm gonna have to make a little thing and talk about the various emojis and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I want to talk about tomorrow. Okay, again, tomorrow's video to be released at 4 a.m. because I just scheduled these things. 4 a.m. West Coast time. Top 10 sequels that the JRPG developers ruined, part 2. Should be a lot of fun. If you haven't watched part 1 of that yet, please do so. Refresh your memory on that. It's the one that has Alundra 2 as the cover because Alundra 2 is dog shit. And, oh, Jeffrey Wright, thank you so much for your donation. Bye, David. One last second donation. Thank you. And then tomorrow, I will be having a live stream, probably right around the same time as well. Ken gets back tomorrow. Woohoo! Yay, Ken. Ken gets back tomorrow. We can have a little celebration, but I am going to be doing a live stream. It'll be our first Friday live stream, and I'm going to be experimenting with some things. I want to see about, this is a slow learning process for me. I want to see about if I can show my computer screen while also showing myself at the same time and see how that works and do some experimentation with that, because there's some videos that I want to show you guys on some new games that have been announced, and also some strategy guides that I have gotten recently that I just want to make fun of on live stream, because there's nothing better than making fun of some horrible artwork and a horrible strategy guide for a pretty halfway decent I like it game. Not going to say anything bad about this game. Speaking of games that made me cry, I cried during Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. But yeah, we'll talk about this strategy guide as well because it's fun. Anyway, oh, gosh almighty. Donation from David K. You have a great first name. You do too. Davids unite! Cheers to that as I'm dying. Anyway, guys, I really gotta go. Have a good night. It's been a blast. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same original girl time, same original girl place. End stream. End. Perfect.